So here's a fun fact. The space shuttle has an estimated 29 different million parts, and it's assembled and put together by the lowest bidder. And that also goes for the roads and bridges that you travel on every day, and the retaining wall that you're about to see in this video. Before we got there.
Alright, good morning everybody. Today we're going to be ripping out this wall, and this wall over here. We got everything roped off, coned off, so that way everyone can be safe. If this wall's all coming out, or it's just going to come in around these corners, and then this one's going to go all the way to the, basically out to the end of this walk path right here. So there's going to be a wall yay high all the way down until it dives off, just so they can flatten this out, make it a little more easier there to manage. And then these pillars are coming out, they're not going to be in there, it's just going to be straight flat wall along, curving in and then back on each of these, and then this wall is going to come around here and then do the same thing as this one, just dives back into here. So that's this morning's thing. So whenever they get over here, we gotta get equipment and all that other stuff pulled up here, and then we'll start tearing into it, and then hopefully this giant flagpole stays in place. All right, so we're trying to get some of this mulch out of the way, and we've basically dug down
10 inches.
Yeah, at least 10 inches worth of mulch in here, and a paver thing around that, around their flagpole base.
Look at the pill bugs pouring out of there. No, they put a base under it. Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit of a base.
Oh, hey, look at you, big boy. Come on.
Yes, Sam's Save the Frog program. You're that much below the cap, top of the cap.
I was hoping for a little lower because I got a 3'10" estimated wall here, not a 4'4". But the way they did this, when I measured it, I thought it was a block sticking out of the second block, but you know.
Is it level?
Yeah, so we want to go with top of the, we want to get it, we can go a little lower than that, I suppose. So if we got 6 inches buried, we'll end up with a 4-foot wall.
What was that? 4 foot?
It'll be
blocking a.
If we did a 3'10" wall burying a full block, this is where we'd be. So we'd be a couple inches lower than that sidewalk.
You know, the cap meeting up with the same elevation as the sidewalk was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, but that doesn't. So it's a goofy height for our block.
All right, so we were digging, trying to find bottom of the mulch, and we found that they have it tied in with cabling and binders holding their wall up. That's probably why this side hasn't destabilized. Now we're kind of just trying to find bottom of this flagpole here.
Yeah, I was just thinking this would be deeper, but I don't know that it is. This is really tied into some kind of metal plate. You never know what people do before you get here, you know?
No.
That's a first.
Yeah, that's running right into that.
Well, we start on that other side then and leave this for now. We got to do something goofy with this flagpole.
Got to be 4 feet at least. They'd go beneath the frost line.
Yeah, but if you go 4 feet, that still kind of gets us
down into our wall. Oh, that's just an eye hook right there. We could put a wrench on that and bust that right off.
right into this this block is all.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I don't know if this is not very deep and then they just anchor it with a certain amount of weight. I don't know. I've never put in a flagpole or really worked a flagpole. So that's the bottom of it.
Yeah, I've never worked with flagpoles either.
Well, it could be not the bottom. It could be.
Yeah, because they're just anchoring it with a clevis right there, so we could easily take that out, but
You think the flagpole and the wall went in at the same time?
possibly. Probably, yeah, they
Could
probably
have
put,
been, but I sure as hell don't want that thing falling back to the school
no, this is definitely
or messing up the flagpole.
right.
I mean, that's a good pole.
Well, yeah, if anything, if like, see if we could lay it down gently or something. If it does come out or whatever.
I mean, that's looking like it's the bottom, unless that's just a ridge and it goes deeper.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at that.
yeah.
See, it goes deeper.
It's got to be 4 feet.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's got to be below that, or at least below the frost heave,
Yeah.
because otherwise you'd heave it. It would be heaving.
We got to dig a foot back and all the way down to the ground.
Are they replacing this sidewalk as well?
No.
So we're probably gonna be undermining this one and packing it back up too.
I'm just going. I'm going to talk to Cole about the wall heights. You know, that's why I was trying to hook the laser up again, but.
Retaining walls are structures that need to be engineered and have to be built to a very strict standard. Otherwise, they are set up to fail. And what you're looking at with this one is a complete failure right from the moment they finished building that retaining wall. Let me explain. They physically connected that flagpole to that retaining wall. Why? I don't know. But the big no-no that I do know is you can never, and I mean never, physically connect a retaining wall to any other structure. You can't butt a retaining wall up to a house, a building, or a structure and tie it in, because a retaining wall is completely different than a CMU wall, a concrete masonry unit wall. A retaining wall is designed to float. A concrete masonry wall is designed to not move. It has mortar. It's adhered together. It's stuck together like glue. And if that wall floats or moves, that mortar cracks and the wall goes into a state of failure. That's why a CMU wall needs a deeper frost footing if there's frost heave. But a retaining wall, on the other hand, is designed to allow the blocks to slightly move and undulate with the frost heave and the changing of the seasons, and to go right back into shape if they get out of shape. But to do that successfully means that the retaining wall itself has to be built properly in the first place. That means the right geogrid, the right base material, the right drainage aggregate, the right structural fill behind it. All of these things have to work in unison to create a retaining wall that can withstand the pressure of moving. And that means that that retaining wall, although it's allowed to move and groove and to float and to do whatever it wants to do, can't be tied to something else, because now you've taken all the principles of the engineering of that retaining wall and you've made them null and void. And I've seen this time and time and time again. If you are a retaining wall contractor and you want to start building retaining walls over 4 feet tall, for your own sake, please and thank you, take some engineering courses. Understand some basic geoengineering so that as you're building the wall up, you understand soil dynamics, how to compensate for clay soil versus sand soil, gravel, how to understand what a surcharge on the back of a retaining wall is, how to build a retaining wall that has a slope on it, or to have any kind of pressure, or to have a double terraced retaining wall. There's a lot that goes into these retaining walls. And the average landscaper is skinning by and not doing his homework and due diligence before tackling projects like this. And what you just seen with that flagpole is an example.
Alright, so after very great discussion, they have decided that they want the flagpole gone, and so we gotta wait till all the kids and stuff are gone at around 1 or 2 to be able to actually get it down, because they want to try and save the pole. So we're gonna have to do some very gentleness, but they want that gone, and then we're gonna rip out the wall.
You feel this moving when he loosens it.
Yeah, I know, I could feel it moving too, so.
I think the wall's gonna collapse on me, and then the flagpole's gonna fall.
yeah, flagpole come that way, wall goes that way, squish Bruce in the center.
Oh yeah,
That's exactly what's going on.
they're definitely using it to hold up the wall, man. Oh, hey, Cole and another guy out here. The flagpole is tied in with the wall with metal bracing, and they want to take the flagpole out now, but they don't want to do it till about 1 o'clock. So we can still tear our wall out and start basing on the other side.
So I said the day it's paid for.
So, yeah, the wall's gonna be, I don't know, man.
I don't really know. She struggles to lift anything, really. Yeah. She's geared for pushing. That's about it. I almost want to push on the wall a little bit with the loader just to release some tension on that for you. So it's like, for how much you're screwing out of it, you should be already out of the other side of that clevis.
So if we sunk the block.
That thing's just fighting you the whole way. That's why I say I think that wall has tension on it. That's why she's being a pain.
She's coming.
Oh, yeah, I feel this wall moving every time you loosen that. So that anchor's definitely holding this wall up. And hopefully the pole ain't moving backwards. I haven't really looked at that.
Can't say I've ever anchored a wall to something.
I know we've done where we've anchored garage walls to soil behind it, because the wall was blowing in. Why don't you get out of there, Bruce? We'll push a little bit on the wall here, and it'll let go. But then this whole wall's probably gonna fall this direction. Because if it's under that much tension, then
It's not under a great deal of tension.
no, but enough.
Jack, can you back that excavator up real quick in case this wall collapses?
Which excavator? Oh, I was gonna hit the loader button.
You could actually see the wall moving as Bruce was loosening it up. Anyway, that's not the worst case scenario I've ever seen. I'd say one of the worst retaining walls that I've ever seen. I got beat out on a bid on a job in St. Paul, Minnesota. It was just a residential project. And I happened to be in the neighborhood, and I was doing other development work, and so I stopped by the project to see what the company was doing that beat me on this retaining wall bid. And what I found out was, so I bid the wall to put in Versalock standard units, 6 inches of base, 12 plus inches of drainage aggregate behind it, pinning the blocks together, putting a cap unit on, gluing it in place, and doing that whole rigmarole. Excavating, demolition, the whole 9 yards. What I came out and found out that the other contractor that beat me was doing was they were using a CMU unit, concrete masonry unit. They were dry stacking it, so these are hollow blocks, and they were just sticking no mortar, just sticking one hollow block on top of the other, but they had no drainage aggregate behind the wall and nothing below the wall. They were just slapping it on pure dirt. This was a retaining wall that was meant to last, at best, that summer, because the first freeze-thaw cycle, that frost heave is going to move those blocks and they're going to pop off, and since there was nothing adhering one block to the next block, that wall was going to be in a mess down below. In fact, I even filmed it, and in fact, I got threatened to be sued if I didn't take that video down. So if you were one of my longtime subscribers and you remember way back in the day, I showed verbatim, step by step, everything that this other company was doing. I even blurred out their faces. Well, that video I had to remove, or I was going to get sued over it. But let's get back to this project.
So now we're going to remove the flagpole. Oh look, we got Daewoo, we got the Kubota skid, and we got their big loader here to use for the bottom, because that's a lot of concrete on the bottom.
I guess I gotta go farther back then.
But yeah, so we're gonna catch it. This whole thing's gonna be probably live.
So, if you're watching this with me, it looks like Timmy's the pitcher in the excavator and Alex is the catcher in the skid loader. I wonder if that's how they normally operate. Now this move's actually a little harder than Timmy's making it look, because as the pole's coming down, he's manipulating the thumb so that it's not pinching it or bending the pole, just in case somebody, like one of you guys, wants a giant flagpole. Come get it.
End of it.
Fishing pole I ever saw in my life. Whoa! You want the bucket of the loader?
I think that'd be a lot easier. You just put her in rabbit and go. I'd set it right there, Timmy.
In the grass? Hey!
Whoa,
Put it on the parking lot. I thought he wanted it on the grass.
Gonna roll right down that hill if you do. Not our problem. Oh, we got the pole. Not so much the end.
Got a, what you call it? Like a steel plate or something. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, plate right there.
Yeah, the whole thing is just deteriorated inside there. It's just, you can see how loose it is. They want it out.
I was just thinking about it. I know.
Yeah. Pole got a little scratched and lost the end of it, but I think that's pretty reasonable for bringing it down without damaging too much.
Have you guys ever gotten beat out on a bid and then went to the actual and found out what your competition was doing, and you just tell me your story? I want to hear your story. I mean, it happens in commercial construction as well. I mean, we are required to build to a certain set of standards, and those standards are not being met. Even here, you can see in this video, they're not meeting those standards. But I went out to a project in Inver Grove Heights at a college, and this was a massive retaining wall. And it wasn't even one season. The wall was already splitting, and you could look between the cracks of the retaining wall and see that the contractor that built this 14-foot tall retaining wall that was hundreds of feet long used pea gravel. I can't make this up. So the thing is if they're cutting corners there, where else are they cutting corners? And the thing is don't do that, because if that wall ever fails, as soon as it's found out that you didn't build that wall the right way, you are liable. It doesn't make a difference if it's 1 year or 5 years or 10 years. It doesn't make a difference if it's past your warranty. As a contractor, you are required to build things the right way. So these guys that are lowballing us and beating us on these bids and cutting these corners, well, they're not going to be around when the phone call comes in, hey, what did you do? So tell me your story. If you've ever gone up against one of those guys, what have you seen other guys doing out there that beat you on a bid? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to call it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed going along for the ride. I enjoyed taking you along for it, but we're not done on this project. We got a couple more of these coming down the pipeline before we wrap this project up. And right now we are working on a phenomenal project. I don't want to give too much away, but this is really cool. I just was out to the site the other day checking it out, and the boys are putting, it's a work of art. This is more understanding soil dynamics, engineering, geogrid, how to build things the right way. But the next one is more of a reflection of their soul, their spirit. It's so cool what they're doing. But I don't want to give it away. But that's it for this one. God bless. Go get them, you guys.
Alright, so we found some concrete under this when we were digging down. And we found something similar on this side.
Just on this side though,
Where the little,
we'll be able to float over it because we still got our foot.
right, we still got our foot clearance. So the other side we're just gonna have to
We gotta take it out, or we gotta
do something.
float over the top, but we're only able to float like
Yeah, no,
2 inches of class 5 over that.
Yeah,
Our blocks are 6.
Yeah,
not
we got
class 5, 3/4.
3/4, but yeah, we're
That's just a little too.
that's a little too risky for us.
And everything below that is super wet and nasty too.
So
We probably need to do a soil correction.
yeah.
It's all nasty. Just squishing that back.
Alright, so we're wrapping up for the day. This project over on this side of the school is officially wrapped up. Sam just got the caps on these ones finished today. Yeah. And now this side is officially done. And the other, now we have the other side to do, and that's some other footage. So, all right.